Ladies and gents, boys and girls, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to yet again another video. So guys, in this video I want to talk about the idea of when entertainment becomes chronic distraction and avoidance. Okay. So when I say entertainment, specifically I'm only referring to digital forms of entertainment. So, you know what I mean? Content consumption, movies, TV shows, video games, scrolling on your phone, TikTok, social media, whatever it is, okay, whatever kind of digital form of entertainment that you are consuming, pick yours. That's what I'm referring to, okay? And before I get into the topic, I want to be very clear. Like, this video is not going to be me shitting on people that consume entertainment, or people that play video games, or people that watch movies, or people that watch TV shows or scroll on their phone. Like, this video is not me trying to shit on people that do that, because I think we all do that a little bit at this point in the 21st century, in 2026 and beyond. And so entertainment is something that we as human beings in this modern society kind of all dabble in, right? A little bit, some more than others, some less than others. And to be fair, obviously life and society in the world would be a lot worse place and would suck a whole lot more without entertainment and without art and all that kind of stuff. I totally agree with that and totally think that that's true. But at the same time, the world that we live in today, this modern society that we live in today, this heavily digital world that we live in today, where we're surrounded by screens 24/7, most of us, I think, again, you can fall into a state where entertainment is now becoming a chronic distraction and a form of avoidance in one's life. The issue that I have is not people entertaining themselves. Like you go to work, you spend all day working hard at your job, and you come home and you spend, like an hour or 2 or 3 hours, like chilling at night, playing a video game to like unwind and just relax and kind of just chill, right? Or you throw on a movie, or you throw on a TV show, or you lay on the couch and you kind of scroll on your phone for like a few hours or a little bit of time, like at night after work or something like that. Absolutely no problem with people like that. I'm someone like that myself. I do that just like any number of you, okay? I'm sure we all do that a little bit. So I'm not trying to say that people like that are bad or anything like that, or that entertaining yourself is bad. What I have an issue with, and what this video is referring to specifically, is that sometimes these things that we're entertaining ourselves with can become a crutch for some people, where it's like it completely consumes their life. You know what I mean? It's all they do from the minute they wake up, from the minute to the minute that they lay their head down at night, is scroll on TikTok. Or all they do all day long for 12 hours a day is play some video game, just escape into some video game, where they're using like content consumption, or they're using these forms of entertainment as this kind of way to just distract themselves from their life, to avoid their responsibilities, or they're like a grown adult or something, but again, they spend all their time like watching TV shows for 12 hours a day, or whatever the case may be, as a way to distract themselves from the fact that, oh my God, they hate their life sucks. They don't want to grow as a person, to avoid personal growth or avoid personal accountability, or to avoid taking some kind of action in your real life. You know what I mean? Just to the point where they're using entertainment, whatever form it is, as a way to just completely escape any responsibility in their personal life, or completely escape their life totally, to where they don't have to think about anything. Almost to the point where you're not even enjoying it anymore. Like, you're not actually being entertained by the video game anymore. You're not actually being entertained by that TV show that you've binge watched 1,000 times anymore. You're not, at a certain point, it's no longer entertaining. It actually becomes like boring after a while. So you know what I mean? And so many people, they've entered the mode. They've crossed the line into, okay, this is now a chronic distraction. This is now, I'm using this as a crutch to avoid my life. So many people enter that stage and don't realize it, and that's actually what's happening to them. That's really what's happening to them, but they don't want to admit it to themselves, maybe. You know what I mean? That's where I have the problem. And obviously a lot of you listening might hear this and think, well, people can distract themselves with all sorts of stuff. There are lots of different forms of entertainment. It's, playing video, they could be doing drugs, or they could be involved with gang activity, or they could be doing some other destructive thing. So, them entertaining themselves with video games or whatever it is not really a big deal. Like, and to those people that say that, I completely agree. Okay. I'm not saying that, entertainment is bad, again, or spending your time distracting yourself with some form of entertainment is like the most horrible thing in the world. Obviously, that's a lot better than some other destructive thing that someone could be doing, like, again, being addicted to drugs, or trying to escape or distract themselves with whatever other meaningless activity, name yours, or a destructive activity. So I will admit that, of course, that these type of things, entertainment, in engulfing yourself, indulging yourself into entertainment, is obviously a lot better than some of these other things. But even with that said, I do think that completely consuming your life in video games, movies, TV shows, scrolling on your phone, entertainment, whatever, I do think, again, there's a fine line there. Like, are you playing video games because it's entertainment, or it's like a hobby, or something that you enjoy, you're just doing it from time to time? Or are you using that video game as a way to escape your life in the sense where you can't even focus on your own life anymore? Like, are you using that video game to entertain yourself, or are you using that video game to distract yourself chronically? That's the question that you have to ask yourself. That's the question that I have to ask myself. That's the question that we all have to ask ourselves when it comes to this entertainment stuff. Like, am I watching this TV show over and over and over because I just like it and it's just entertainment for me? Or am I watching this TV show over and over and over again because I'm living in a state of avoidance and distraction from my life? You know what I mean? Am I using it as a fantasy world to escape into permanently, where I don't have to think about my real life anymore? That's what you have to ask yourself, because, again, a lot of these entertainment things, a lot of these things that I've named, they can become a crutch for a lot of people. And to be clear, this video is not me trying to tell people how to live their life, or my intention is not to try to tell you how to live your life. You're allowed to, if you're a grown adult, you're allowed to spend your free time however you want to spend your free time, of course. You know what I mean? If you want to spend your life just distracting yourself in entertainment to the point where you never even live your own life at all, I mean, be my guest. You're allowed to do whatever the hell you want to do. Nobody's telling you that you're not allowed to do these things. The video is being made because I'm trying to point out a behavior that's destructive in society to one's self and to one's own life, is being consumed in entertainment to where you lose track of what you're trying to do in the real world, in your real life. That's the issue. I've known a lot of people in my life where they were these types of people, where it was like, you go to their house, like you show up to their apartment, or you show up to their house, or whatever their living situation is. Maybe they're living with their parents, whatever. And it's like their first priority, like their main priority, is just distracting themselves with entertainment. Like, their house is a wreck, you know what I mean? They've got fucking roaches everywhere. Like, the dishes haven't been done in like 3 months, or the house is a wreck. There's clothes everywhere. The laundry hasn't been done in like a year or something, but yet they're sitting there playing some video game for fucking 8 to 10 hours a day, like their life depends on it, like it's their job or something like that. It's like they're in some toxic relationship that's like destructive to their fucking personal life, or it's like, they've got some job that they can't fucking stand in reality, but like, instead of working on that relationship, or trying to get out of that relationship, or trying to do something in their real life that would put them in a position to where they could get themselves out of that shitty 9-to-5 job, instead of like taking real action to try to fix the problems in their life, they just say fuck all that, and then they just distract themselves with some video game for fucking all day long. Or they just fuck that, and fuck fixing my life, I'm just gonna lay on my couch and just scroll on fucking Facebook for 12 hours. You know what I mean? It's like, dude, really? Like, that is the last thing you should be doing with your time. You know what I mean? If your life is fucked up like that, if your life is not in order in other areas, you need to, in my opinion, your first priority should be getting your life together, not fucking entertaining yourself with bullshit to distract yourself. You know what I mean? And that's what I'm saying. A lot of people, instead of getting their actual life together, they would just rather distract themselves with entertainment all day long, you know, and so they don't have to think about that toxic relationship that they're in, or the fact that their house is a fucking wreck, or the fact that they, you know, they never pursued any dream of their own, and they work some job that they hate, and they're, you know what I mean? Like, basically they just use the video game or the TV show or the TikTok or the whatever entertainment form it is as a way to just forget the fact that they have to do stuff in their real life. For a lot of these people where it's like the entertainment becomes a chronic distraction for them, for me, in my opinion, it's because they have a lack of priorities, having their priorities in line. It's a lack of having one's priorities straight. You know what I mean? So it's like, take me for an example, right? I am someone who was a gamer when I was younger, and I'm still a gamer now, not as much as I was when I was a kid, because I'm an adult now and I have responsibilities and I have a job and I have you know, accountability that I need to take for myself, and I have lots of other priorities that are more important than that. Okay, but I still find some time after the day is over, you know, at nighttime. Maybe I'll throw on Battlefield and play a game of Battlefield, or a game or two of Battlefield. Maybe I'll throw up Elden Ring, you know, and play Elden Ring for a little bit. I'll throw up whatever video game and play for a little bit to kind of relax and chill and unwind for the night. Absolutely, I'll do that. Or I'll throw on a TV show and chill, or I'll read a book, or whatever it is. I'll scroll on my phone a little bit. But again, guys, the key point here is that the key phrase is sometimes. I do these things sometimes. You know what I mean? I make sure I make sure that I don't allow these things to consume my entire consciousness, my entire life, to the point where I, you know, am losing track of my real life, to the point where it's like I am no longer focusing on my real life that's right in front of me. I absolutely focus on my real life that's right in front of me first and foremost, before I entertain myself, before I scroll on, you know, whatever social media app, before I, you know, sit there and binge watch that TV show, before I sit there and indulge myself in a video game. Like, my priorities are in line, right? I know what's important. I know what are the important things to focus on first before I entertain myself. Okay. And I think a lot of people today, a lot of, again, young men, I think young men are the biggest demographic that kind of have an issue with this. And I'm a young man myself. I've fallen into this myself. So this video is not coming from a place of judgment, guys. It's just, I think a lot of people, I'm kind of concerned for a lot of people out there, a lot of Gen Z men specifically. I mean, anybody can fall into this, but a lot of young men specifically are in a mode where, you know, they don't want to take any action in their life at all. They're living in fear. They're afraid to pursue that dream. They're afraid to pursue that business. They're afraid to go ask that girl out. You know what I mean? They're neglecting the relationships in their life. They're neglecting taking real action in their actual life that would make their life better, and doing real things in real life with real people. But instead, they just escape into some video game for 12 hours a day. You know what I mean? Because that's just easier for a lot of them. A lot of them, it's very relieving. They can throw up some video game or throw up some movie and completely escape their life 100%, because comfort is easier than change for a lot of people. Comfort is a lot easier than a lot of people. They can't face themselves. They can't face their real life. They don't want to face the situation that their life is in. They don't want to face, you know, the reality that is their life a lot of times. And so a quick way that you can not have to think about that is just distract yourself completely into entertainment. You know, live in this avoidant state where all you're doing is consuming content every day, scrolling on the phone for hours, watching TV shows over and over for hours, watching movies over and over and over, playing video games for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours, like distracting yourself completely 100%. That's the problem. And I'll even add this into the video too, and that is, I think a lot of people can get into this state of mind where they're so consumed with whatever entertainment that they're consumed in, whether it be video games, whatever, to where they not only are they neglecting their relationships in their real life, they're neglecting their goals, their personal goals, they're neglecting their whatever it is in their real life. A lot of times they'll also neglect their health. They'll also neglect their health because the video game or the movie or the TV show or the social media becomes more important than that for them. And so it's like a lot of these people, whenever the entertainment becomes their entire life, they'll balloon up to like 300 pounds. You know what I mean? They won't be eating right. They'll just be eating fucking Cheetos or whatever all the time because it's just easy. You know, there's no kind of physical action. There's no kind of exercise with the person. They're not going to the gym. Like all these sorts of things, because they're using the entertainment as a crutch. They're all their time. They're spending all their time playing some fucking video game. You know what I mean? Your health can really suffer as a result of this. So not only can your life take a back seat, you know what I mean, your actual life, but also your health can too. So that's another important thing that I wanted to add into the video too, is like neglecting one's health. You know what I mean? One's physical health, mental health too. I mean, not just physical health, but also mental health. I mean, again, entertainment can be a drug for a lot of people. You know what I mean? It can be a drug. It can be a really good way for them to distract themselves, and so a lot of people do that. And again, when you distract yourself with something, again, whatever it is, it can be a substance, it can be some activity, it can be, it doesn't have to just be entertainment. But again, this video is about entertainment, and so a lot of people can have like a really bad mental health state whenever they just consume themselves in entertainment all the time. It's like your mind is 24/7 in TikTok world or in social media world, where it's showing you the most emotionally stimulating shit every 5 seconds. It's like you're at a casino doing a slot machine, you know what I mean? Where it's like, what am I going to get this time? Maybe I'll get a like this time. Maybe I'll get a comment, you know what I mean? Maybe I'll get some message, maybe I'll get a new funny video or something next time I hit refresh. So it's like you've lost 8 hours of your day doing this because you've just consumed yourself in it and this kind of stuff. And so you've neglected other parts of your life. That's what I'm getting at. I think an antidote to this, or one solution to this problem that I have, is that replace all the time that you spend consuming creating something instead. You know what I mean? So, all those hours that you spent wasting your day away scrolling, watching little meaningless videos on TikTok for 8 hours or however many hours it was, reallocate that time into creating something of yourself, for yourself. You know what I mean? Creating a business or creating art, or just create more than consume, I think is a way to, help someone get out of a state of chronic avoidance with entertainment. You know what I mean? And instead, it's a lot easier said than done. I understand that. But I do think if more people spent more time creating and producing rather than just consuming, I think that would help a lot of people out there. I really do. Or if you're not a creator, if you're not an artist, or if you're someone who can't create, spend that time in something that you're passionate about. Spend that time doing some hobby that you enjoy. Spend that time with people that you enjoy spending time with. You know what I mean? Have a conversation with somebody that you enjoy having a conversation with. Find something that you love to do that is something that you like to do, where you're not just consuming 24/7. Some passion that you have, maybe you like to paint, you like to play music, whatever it is. I think if you spend your time doing the things that you like to do, if you have that a bit of availability, if you have that option, I think that would help you feel a lot better than if you're just in this chronic state of avoidance and distraction into video games and TV shows and movies and scrolling on social media 24/7 and watching YouTube 24/7 or whatever. The point is, there are better ways to spend your time than just living this passive NPC robot sheep life of just consume whatever I'm told to consume and then just never do anything with my actual life. I can assure you there are many other ways to spend your time that would make you feel a lot better. If you're one of these people that's in a state like I'm describing. Again, There are a lot worse things that people could be doing than indulging themselves in entertainment. Of course, I acknowledge that. But again, anything can consume you if you let it. You know what I mean? You can consume, or you can allow anything to become a crutch in your life. You can allow anything to consume your time if you let it. It's not just entertainment. But this is a big one today, and that's what the topic of this video is about. This video is only referring to when entertainment becomes chronic distraction. So that's my dad is calling again, guys. So that's what the video is kind of about. That's kind of the point I'm getting at, is I think there's a fine line that people should really pay attention to in their own life whenever is that entertainment, or are you using it to chronically distract yourself? You know, that, a lot of people have to ask themselves that question. And again, I think a lot of people are not self-aware. A lot of people don't realize that that's what they're doing. It's like, so, you know, some guy or some girl might have spent their entire weekend, their entire 48-hour weekend scrolling on their phone that entire 48 hours, or 47 hours or 46 hours of that entire 48-hour weekend. And that's when I think there's a problem. That's when I think it's a problem. So anyways, guys, let me know your perspective. Let me know if I missed anything. Obviously, we all need to entertain ourselves. We all do it from time to time, but there's just a fine line there whenever it becomes too much. So thank you guys for listening. My name is John. Let me know your perspective in the comment section, and I will see you guys in the next one.